Hi and welcome to video 6 in the 7 key attributes of top online marketers. So far we've covered commitment, focus, coaching and mentoring, prioritizing activities with income generation first, and now we're at point 5, they take action fast. So what does that mean? Well, I've got a really good quote here and I don't actually know who it's from. It was an unknown source. However, I love this quote, so I want to share it with you guys. It's entrepreneurs don't overthink things. They make a decision and they go with it. So the difference between highly successful entrepreneurs and your average business owner is that average business owners can often get overthink things, overcomplicate things, and this is something that I especially see in a lot of people when they get started, and I'm equally guilty of this. Is you think things are more complicated than they are, and you add extra steps because you think that's what's needed, and actually if you really look at it, it needs to be simpler than it is, and you know, if you're overthinking it and getting confused or doubting whether you should take this step forward, then it's often your fear talking, and if you listen to your voice of fear, you will never get off the ground. You'll just constantly be holding yourself back because you won't want to take that action in case you get it wrong. And there are loads of motivational speakers. I think Byron Katie is one of my favourites for this, is when she talks about limiting beliefs and beliefs about and fear. Fear is just false concepts and false beliefs. It's not actually the truth, but we're so conditioned to believe that it is the truth, and that stops us from being enjoying the now. It also stops us from taking the steps that we need to take to move forward, so it can just hold us back constantly. One thing that you also notice with successful entrepreneurs is they're very quick at making snap decisions. So if they have to make a decision on something, they'll make a decision very quickly. They won't second guess themselves, and they'll just go with it, knowing that once you make a decision, the only way you have is forward. If you're constantly looking behind you, you'll never see where you're going, and you're more than likely going to trip over. Where the past is the past, and it's where you've been, it's not where you're going, and it's not where you are now. So you need to be focused in the now, and you need to be focused on where it is that you want to be heading to, without getting stuck in the future either, and the fears that can be associated with that. They're very good at if they're having a conversation with someone, if they get a nugget of information, they will take action as soon as they can. If they can apply it there and then, they'll apply it there and then. The same with training courses. Top earners will always be the one that are taking immediate action, the ones that are applying that knowledge very, very quickly and putting it into their business. The people that are likely to fail or likely to quit or tap out early with their business are the ones that will allow that information to stagnate. So they learn something and then they wait until they're an expert, and that never comes, because they're constantly always moving on to the next thing, where they want to learn the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So really important to take action quickly, make sure that knowledge doesn't stagnate, and make sure you're always making decisions and then sticking with it and keep going forward. Don't let that voice of fear hold you back and stop you from moving forward, because you need to be constantly in that state of momentum where you're moving forwards and not moving backwards and then forwards and then backwards and then forwards, because that's exhausting mentally. And emotionally, it's very, very exhausting, and that's something that you don't see successful entrepreneurs get stuck in. They're always very aware that if they hit those moments, that's when they reach out to new coaches, or they go back to their mentors, and then they work out what they're doing wrong, and then they change it, and then they move through that. Where it's quite easy for people that are getting started or haven't got into that right mindset to be stuck and get lost and then get overwhelmed and then quit, and that's something that you see with people that don't have the clarity and the focus that the other successful entrepreneurs do have. So that takes me to the end of my 6th video, and I shall be back with video number 7.